afternoon. Today is Tuesday, April 5th. It is the Public Health and Safety Committee. Oh, look, we also have an extra member who just joined us. Fabulous. So we do have a quorum with Evans, Gamble, Johnston, Nash, Pulley, Taylor, and Bircher. We have a very light agenda. The first two items I'll just combine together in a consent unless anybody has an objection to those. Nope.
Can you read through them?
Yeah, I guess I should, since you have no
Since we
agenda. I'll read the captions real quick, and if you have a problem, let me know. First one is RS 2022-1456 by Evans and Welsh, approves an agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Nashville Fire Department Emergency Medical Services, and Tennessee College of Applied Technology, Murfreesboro, to establish a clinical affiliation agreement. And then the next one is RS 2022-1464, approves an intergovernmental agreement by and between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department and the Israel Ministry of Tourism for extra duty police services. Anybody have any problem with those? All right.
What's the affiliation agreement with the TCAT Murfreesboro?
That's the, do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah. Just, is it our affiliation to them or their affiliation to us?
It says it's acting by and through the Nashville Fire Department, Emergency Medical Services, NFD EMS, and Tennessee College of Applied Technology, Murfreesboro, or TCAT Murfreesboro, to establish a clinical affiliation agreement.
I can speak to that if you want.
We might as well, sure, let's go for
So
it.
you can take that off.
So,
Yes.
this is a good opportunity for both TCAT, this school, new school, is producing emergency medical technicians, and what they've asked to do is come and ride on our ambulances for their clinical experience. As part of their national registry, the requirement for obtaining the license, they have to do X amount of clinical rides on an ambulance. It's no different than what, for example, Vol State's doing with their EMT paramedic students in Columbia. They've come into an agreement with us, and it's a good opportunity for us to vet new employees down the line sometimes too. So as high volume as we are, it's a big interest for these universities to seek us out.
Any discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Do they pay us? Like, what's the waiver for the liability?
They have, if I understood your question correctly, I believe it's $1 million that they provide.
Any other questions? All right, we'll go back to since we did it separate, we had discussion, we'll go back to this first one. RS 2022-1456 approves an agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Nashville Fire Department, Emergency Medical Services, and Tennessee College of Applied Technology, Murfreesboro, to establish a clinical affiliation agreement. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, anyone opposed? Okay. Let's move on to RS 2022-1464, approves an intergovernmental agreement by and between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department and the Israel Ministry of Tourism for extra duty police services. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Can someone just explain that, please?
It's our standard SEU contract. So when whether you're a private company or another governmental entity and you want to hire a police officer for some event, so maybe the mall wants to hire off-duty officers, they have to sign the SEU contract. Well, by Metro code, the chief can enter into those agreements, but if it's an intergovernmental, it's got to come through council. So it's our standard SEU contract, but it's with since it's with another governmental entity, that's why it's on the agenda.
And who pays for that?
They do.
They do.
They pay us our standard contract rate. So we say we'll supply an officer at this rate, hourly rate, and they pay the department. The department supplies the officer.
Perfect.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. We recommend approval. All right, we'll go to BL 2022-1114 by Menez, Evans, Rosenberg, and others. Amend section 13.08.080 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws pertaining to the use of license plate scanner or LPR technology to add a definition of personally identifiable information. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right,
Seconded.
it's been moved and seconded. Councilman Mendez.
Thanks. So the Transportation Committee recommended approval of this, and I want to thank the committee for the comments last time. I heard Councilman Nash, Councilman Pulley loud and clear when y'all were saying that license plate, time, and location should be the only data that's retained. In conversations with Mr. Jameson, who was in contact with vendors, the vendors suggested adding make, model, and color as information that would be retained also. And so the revised version of this is to keep a very broad definition of personally identifiable information and then carve out what we're calling allowed PII, which is the license plate image, the time and location, stamp, and make, model, and color. And so whereas the law we passed a month and a half ago said Metro shall not keep PII, now it's going to say Metro shall not keep PII except for allowed PII. And that'll presumably give us the broadest possible protection while still allowing the system to use the plate, time, location, make, model, and color. And Mr. Jameson has discussed this with vendors and the police department and is told that it's workable with the system. So I would ask y'all recommend this for approval. There's the substitute.
Yeah, any discussion on the substitute?
Just one quick question. I just want to ask for the record of the sponsor. The definition here is not designed to prevent the normal use of the LPR cameras. Is that correct?
You know, I tried not to take offense at the tone of your question last time we met. I'm working in good faith to get a definition that works, turn to Mr. Jameson to do the legwork with the vendors, and if Mr. Jameson is telling me the truth, then it should work just fine, and I believe he is. Like, I don't appreciate the questioning of my intentions.
Well, considering the position you had in LPRs, I think it's a perfectly legitimate question to ask as we move forward with this, so.
And
Thank
I'll
you for your
continue to take
question.
offense by
How
it.
about any other
I have a
discussion?
question.
Councilwoman Gamble.
The personal identifiable information, that clause or term, this substitute that you're introducing, and I appreciate the substitute and support it, will it also apply to other departments since this will be something that's in the code? Does this just, okay, it just pertains to license plate readers, not other departments or other issues within the code?
We can ask Mr. Jameson and Ms. Darby, but I believe that this definition will only apply to as far as LPRs and no other department in Metro.
In an abundance of caution, we agree, and agree with Ms. Darby that it is confined. In an abundance of caution, Council Lady Vercher at the last meeting had recommended reaching out to Director Pratt at Social Services just to run the definition past her and see if it caused any problems in any realm that she oversees. She's perfectly fine with it. Similar responses from MNPD and the 3 vendors we consulted, so we're content.
Thank you.
All right, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of the substitute?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
No.
All right, got 1 no. All right, substitute has been recommended for approval, so let's get back on the bill. All those in favor of BL 2022-1114, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. All right, we're recommended for approval. BL 2022-1115, Mendez, Rosenberg, Allen, and others, amend section 13.08008.080 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws pertaining to the use of license plate scanner LPR technology to exclude assisting with immigration enforcement as an allowed use of LPRs. Councilman Mendez.
So on this one, I would like to ask the committee to do the same thing that the Transportation Committee did, which is to recommend deferral to the second meeting in July. I think when we were passing this a month and a half ago, there was broad consensus that we would like the information not to be used for civil immigration enforcement, but it's more thought is needed, and rather than just giving up on it, I thought that hit pause, get through the budget, get past the first meeting in July, which is always busy with zoning hearings, and maybe at that point it gets withdrawn. Maybe there's a better idea at that point. But anyway, that's my request, is for the committee to recommend deferral to the second meeting in July.
I'll make that motion.
All right, motion has been made. Anyone
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of a deferral till July 15th,
I
please.
think it's maybe 19.
19th, okay. second meeting of July. Okay. Please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you.
All right, that's all we have for today. We will stand adjourned. Thank you.